Welcome everybody and thank you for joining me. So today I have one big thing that I would like to go over, and that is Deathloop coming over to the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S consoles. Now I know that this is news that comes as no surprise to anyone who has been following along, considering that the game was made by an Xbox owned studio, but even with that knowledge many were left wondering when the game will finally release on Xbox. Sony has always had a pretty good relationship with third-party studios, and because of this they have many exclusive games on their platform that is not first-party. One of those games that they have is obviously Deathloop. PlayStation struck a deal with Bethesda for an exclusive game, much like they did with other publishers like Konami and even Square Enix with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now with Deathloop, of course, there is a bit of a spanner that was thrown into the spike, as Xbox announced a few years back that they acquired all of ZeniMax, and with that every game studio that they have, including Bethesda and Arcane who created the game. After this, many speculated whether or not the game would still be exclusive or if Xbox would break that deal, which at the time they could have easily done. I'm sure that there would have been a massive fine, even a lawsuit, but if you are worth $2 trillion, none of that really matters too much if you want the game for yourself. However, Xbox decided not to do that and instead honored the deal that was previously in place, with the understanding that once the original deal expires, the game will release on Xbox as well. Now usually how these things work with third parties is you sign a 1-year deal and then there is also an opportunity to extend that deal later on, much like what Sony did with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now Deathloop is a very highly rated game and it was even nominated for Game of the Year, so with that said, it is only natural that players on Xbox and PC would want to play the game on their own preferred platform of choice, and thus the heavy interest in when the game will actually finally be released over on Xbox Game Pass. Comic Book now reports the PlayStation 5 is seemingly losing its newest and one of its highest rated exclusive games to the Xbox Series X and losing it fairly soon. In 2021, Sony and its partners shipped 3 major exclusives. The first was Returnal, the second was Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and the third, Deathloop, actually comes the way of Xbox and Bethesda. The former 2 games were made by 2 studios owned by PlayStation, and no PlayStation game not named MLB The Show comes to Xbox consoles. Deathloop seems to be, and considering who made it, this isn't all that surprising. More specifically, it looks like the game from Arcane Studios is coming to the Xbox Series X and Xbox Game Pass in September. The information comes the way of Bethesda, or more specifically the game's official Twitter account, which is promoting the latest PlayStation Store sale as it discounts Deathloop. To promote the deal, the game's Twitter account released a new promotional video, and at the end of this video it notes in fine print that the game is not available on other consoles until at least September 14th, 2022, which is actually 1 year after the game's release. Of course, the implication here is that the game will come to the Xbox Series X around September 14th, and this is a reasonable conclusion to draw, although the cliff note does say at least. But there you have it. For those who saw Deathloop and thought that it was a good game but could not play it due to the exclusivity clause, now you will soon be able to. But anyways, that is all that I have for today. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you would like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing, and as always, please remember to stay safe, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and I hope to see you again soon.